What a year it's been. We've put together a little highlight reel, really, of all the releases we've put out in RMM over the past year. We very much hope these are helping you in your day-to-day business. Thank you so much for your continued feedback and support, and here's to a brighter 2021.
I want to give you an update on an improved set of performance monitoring checks. So we've changed the out-of-the-box thresholds to be basically a more sensible set of thresholds, so they're less likely to fail that performance monitoring check unnecessarily. We've also updated the out-of-the-box runtime for daily safety checks on workstations, so that they now run at 10 a.m. instead of 6 a.m. for new checks that you add. And it just means fewer check failures because it's not trying to run the checks the moment a customer boots up their laptop when they come in the morning. We have an update to Automation Manager. This is the drag and drop interface that allows you to build custom PowerShell scripts for automated tasks and script checks. It's a real nice tool, and we've enhanced it with a whole series of VMware objects. We've added a new option for when you clear checks, so you now have a choice if you want to refresh all the 3 panels, the client tree in the north pane, or just refresh the south pane. And we are also adding an option for you to clone monitoring templates. So now it's much easier if you want to create a copy of a monitoring template with just a few minor modifications. And these updates are all about visibility and technician efficiency, but really visibility is key. So we have a new workflow for managing active issues, which is check failures, and we have a new workflow for seeing unmonitored devices. We're already working on web protection policies, and then we'll do take control and patch management as well. So all in progress. Okay, the other very exciting news, of course, is the brand new Linux agent went GA, and who better to tell you about Linux and everything Linux than my colleague Brian Best, or so he likes to think anyway. Brian, over to you.
Hey Brian, well, I don't know about all that, but you know what is best is having a great Linux agent inside your RMM, and that's what you got with Linux 2.0.
Let me start with the updates we've put out in RMM to improve active issues. So we've made it a lot easier for you to now go to the new active issues workflow. We've also added the ability for you to add notes when clearing a check through active issues. I would like to draw your attention to the fact we have an automation cookbook. We have also released a new Windows RC agent 10.10.1. This includes a couple of updates. First of all, it offers for the first time performance monitoring checks for workstations.
The next update I'd like to brief you on is the enhancements for Mac monitoring. So we released a new agent 3.4.0, and this handles the Mac OS security posture in a real nice, excellent way. The other update is the Mac agent version 3.4.2, and this has some improvements to the enrollment steps for Mac device management. We're very excited that Mac agent 3.4.2 went GA. This is the Mac agent that has support for the Mac OS security posture. So let me start with the latest enhancements to Apple device management in RMM. And much like this young sapling is growing into a fruit-bearing apple tree, so too is Apple device management in RMM. We've also just added support for remote background management for Mac devices. So you can now use remote background manager for your Mac workbooks just like you can for Windows. I'm going to hand over to my colleague Brian Best, who's going to give us an update on all the latest and greatest enhancements that are now available with Apple device management in RMM. Brian, what have you got in store for us?
Hey, thanks, Brian. Yeah, the weather is gorgeous out here. The sun is shining, and hey, the sun is shining on our Apple support in SolarWinds RMM too. So that's fantastic. And just for our Mac users out there, we now have the ability to push custom configuration profiles through Mac device management.
So for patch management, we're busy enhancing the patch management workflow dialog. We have a whole series of updates also to patch management. We've been steadily improving the patch management workflow. Also updated the patch management engine with PME version 1.1.14. This includes some set of bug fixes that refer to the release post for all the details there. We also added support for Zoom to third-party patching. There's also a new Windows RC agent.
We have patch management updates. There's a new patch management engine, made improvements to how you can use patch management. We've also had a patch management engine update with improvements to how you can handle so-called cumulative updates. We've had a couple of patch management engine releases. We normally have 1 or 2 every month.
Okay, let me hand over to Carla, who's going to tell us all about Disk Encryption Manager.
Hey Brian, Disk Encryption Manager, it's now live.
I'll start, of course, with the release of Endpoint Detection and Response in partnership with SentinelOne, which went GA in October, just a few weeks back.
We've updated our PSA integration with ConnectWise and Autotask so that it handles concatenated site and device names better. So if you're using those integrations, a real nice improvement there for you. We started the month with some enhancements to our PSA integration for ConnectWise and Autotask. So we improved the name syncing between the two platforms. We also added a mapping status indicator so you can see if there are any syncing issues. We've just released an update so that you can now self-reset 2FA passcodes. Speaking of efficiency improvements, we've also added an option to search the settings tree dialog. The enhancements we've put out for co-managed IT, we've extended the permissions that you can offer to end client users.
In addition, we have added an option for take control policies so that you can auto record your take control sessions right from the start based on that policy setting. We have also improved the remote command line and PowerShell interface that's available through advanced remote background management. And there you have it. Very much hope that you've enjoyed this year's releases. As always, go to the status blog to stay up to date with all the latest enhancements we're putting out. Thanks.